Hello, my name is Kirioth, and today we are going to have a little look at some Dark Angels, some Dark Angel stuff for Horus Heresy, and I'll be honest, I've never really fancied a Deathwing army until now, until this specific moment. I've not been that bothered. Sure, loads of Terminators, great. I love me some Terminators. I've got a Strike Force Ultra back there, 20-something Terminators in that, but for some reason I just never fancied doing the Deathwing thing. And yet now I don't know whether to do that or just to start playing 30k so there's an excuse to own these. So this is the Elite Inner Circle Knights Cenobium? Yeah, sure. So, a temporary unit that's put together using a cell of warriors from an Order of the Dark Angels on the eve of a mission that requires their unique skill, which sounds suitably Dark Angels-ish, and there's a nice illustration for them there, as we can see. Gotta have the hood, liking the occlusion of the hood. Wouldn't be Dark Angels without a bit of hood and mystery, would it? Now, the picture is quite nice. It's quite a nice illustration. I like the illustration. The actual models, though, are somehow even better. And if someone wants to tell me how to pronounce Cenobites, I'm assuming it's Cenobites, not Cenobites. Cenobites sounds weird. We'll go with Cenobites. Look at this. Look at it. It's so good. The thing is, there are aspects to this, to these models, that I would suggest are slightly over-designed. That perhaps there is a bit of the clutter there that normally I wouldn't like, but for whatever reason, and I don't really know what that reason is. I'll be totally honest with you. I don't care. There is that elusive kind of, just that elusive wow factor about these. Now, I did wonder whether part of it is down to the fact that they are pretty, they are what I'd think of as traditional Space Marines in 40k. Which, in a way, doesn't make any sense because they're not 40k, they're 30k, but you know what I mean. They have that look that so many Space Marine units used to have, the kind of overly decorative, kind of gothic appearance that is lacking from a lot of the new releases, if you ignore the Sisters of Battle, which are chock full of it. But Space Marine-wise, these guys, to me, look how Terminators should just look in general. I mean, yeah, swap out the Dark Angels iconography for something else, but when we're talking Terminators, for some reason, my mind has always gone closer to this than what we've actually had, which, is entirely a personal thing. But it's because of that I like these so much. There is a decent amount of iconography. You can easily tell, which force they're part of, who they're from. The wing and the sword that goes over the right shoulder pad on the monitor and left shoulder pad on the model, I really like that. It's a little bit bulky. It's maybe a little bit over the top, but for some reason, I don't care. It seems to suit the model really, really well. You've got the additional iconography on the greaves on the legs as well. They have the chains and the cloth around the waist, but the cloth isn't too long. It's not particularly excessive. It kind of matches the rest of the model. It doesn't seem overly cumbersome or like it'd get in the way. I feel like there's actually, whilst they are kind of a little bit busy, there's a really good trade-off between them being a bit busy and them being just clean enough that you don't mind how busy they are. Which, I know seems a little contradictory, but I can't think of any other way to phrase it. There's lots of little details, and there's quite a few big details, but they don't detract from each other. They just seem to sit quite nicely working together. Now, rules-wise, I've no idea how good these will be. They're 30k, and as such, there's no point asking me. But actual models-wise, I really like these. I will say maybe the wings on that dude there, maybe a little bit on the nose, a little bit over the top. I much prefer the icons that we see on the other three. But that is pretty much my only complaint. That's the only thing that I'm not sure I'm a fan of. I actually like everything else. Everything else about these is just hitting the spot for me. I do like the icons on the top of the armour a lot. I prefer them to the wings by far, I will say. But even the wings, they're not massively egregious, and if you really wanted to get rid of them, it'd be kind of easy by the look of things. It looks like they're just attached to the kind of, I guess, like Iron Halo equivalent on the top there. I think you could probably shift those if you really wanted to. I really like them. I think they've done a really good job with these. They actually look really good. And I would quite like to... These are those nice, not rare, but kind of, in a way, elusive models where you just want to have them so you can paint them. You want to have them just so you've got them. Even if you don't use them, it doesn't really matter because they look like a blast of paint and they look like they'd look good just no matter where you put them. These definitely fall into that category for me. I'll be honest, not a fan of the face, but then again, you know me by this point, I'm just not a fan of bare faces in general, so I'd much prefer an extra helmet, but you know what? The rest of them have got those really cool kind of like, those really cool helmets with like the cross in the centre, which kind of balances out the one dude who's got his face showing in his Terminator armour. And he does come with a bunch of keys, which actually, if the cast is good, that's a really nice bit of detail there. I think if you get in early with these, the earlier casts tend to be a bit more reliable. They tend to be a bit more, flawless than the later ones, in my experience anyway, through buying various Dreadnoughts from Forge World. Early runs are, like, absolutely spotless and sparkling clean. The later ones can get a little bit messy in places, but I mean, even so, that doesn't look like it'd be too difficult to clean up, even if you did get a later one or it was a little bit not perfect. Yeah, I really like them. I really do. I would absolutely have a couple of squads of these guys, even if I just ran them as normal Terminators. I still just want them. They just look grand. And thinking, like, considering, like, the kind of overabundance of detail that shows up sometimes, the only thing I'm not a fan of is the wings over the top, and that's only because I like the look of the icons on the others. I don't think there's anything necessarily particularly wrong with the wings. I just prefer the look of the other things. They're not bad, just not to my personal taste, which, I mean, frankly, means that they're doing pretty well overall. God, nice! They're so nice! They look good. So, I mean, they do come with just in case you're wondering what they actually came with, a Tyrannic Greatsword and a Plasma Caster, which is unique to the Dark Angels. Excellent. They need some unique stuff because they're the Legion of outside of the Alpha Legion. They're like the other Legion of Mystery, let's be honest. So it's a smaller version of regular plasma weaponry fitted into the Vambrace to allow the Inner Circle Knights to fight unencumbered in combat, and they do have a handy blade sticking out at the end, just in case you want to stab someone whilst you plasma them, apparently. Sure. Nice unit, nice models, nicely done. I have to say, really like them. Not really a negative word about them, to be fair. Be interested to know what you think, though, especially you 30k players. Is this something you will grab immediately if you're a Dark Angels person? Are you going to grab them anyway, just because you want them? I mean, that to me is a sign of one that's done pretty well. If people are just like, yeah, give me that now. Yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below of these lads. And feel free to click all the things, Patreon, video, subscribe, all that stuff. And there's obviously the affiliate link for Element Games in the description, where if you buy stuff, it's way cheaper and I get something for sending you that way, and 10% of it goes to charity, and you know the drill. You can do that if you like. I'll leave it totally up to you. I'll see you for the next one.